Okay, hello everybody, welcome back to the Aaron Davies YouTube channel, and today we are going to go through our championship predictions for the 2022-2023 championship season. I'm over the moon with how the Premier League predictions video went, and I appreciate every single one of you for liking the video, and all the new subscribers, welcome to our channel. So let's see how well this video can do. There's 24 teams to get through. Right then people, let's start off then with, in 24th place, I have Preston North End. I don't know what this team is going to be capable of doing in the championship. With the championship, I mean, looking at the teams here, it is just getting more competitive as the season goes on. I think Preston, they're going to need to make so many changes in the summer, and of course, we're not into the bit in the summer where all the transfers are going through, but they are going to need to do so much to try and build their team up to get to a point where they can survive the drop in the championship. But I do believe they're going to be bang on 24th. They're going to have one of the worst seasons that we've ever seen in the championship, in my opinion. Rotherham United are going to be coming in at 23rd. I can't see this team surviving too much longer in the championship. They just don't have it in their team. They got relegated, was it 2 years ago? They've been promoted, what have you, but it's one of them teams that usually most of the promoted teams do pretty well in their first seasons. I mean, I've got Sunderland surviving the drop, which is crazy because being a Newcastle fan, I wouldn't do that, but I'm being generous. But Rotherham's one of them teams I don't think they're going to be able to, and I think for the next, decade probably, it's going to be one of them teams that, right, they're in the championship, they might have a decent first 2 seasons, maybe just survive the drop, but then they're going straight back down. They need to try and build up their team with some kind of, even if it's through their academy, something like that. They just need to build up their team, really. It's going to be most of like this for most of the clubs I'm going to be going through today. Coming in at 22nd and just not scraping survival is going to be Blackburn. They actually had a solid season last season, I'm pretty sure. And it was very nice to see them back in the championship, but I can't see them doing it this season. Like I said, all these teams above them that I have, the other 21 teams, I think are going to be able to do it above them. Blackpool, I think they're going to have a pretty good start of the season, winning most of the majority of, say, even if it's 5-6 games or something like that. But then the team's going to go on a bit of a slope. They're going to have their manager sacked by Christmas. They're going to bring a new caretaker manager in who's not going to be able to keep them up. And I think that's what's really going to knock Blackpool. I think they're going to have a really promising start and then just very slowly decline and then just not survive by, even if it's by a couple of points on goal difference or something, they're not going to survive by. So it's going to be unlucky. Coming in at 21st and just surviving the drop, we have Bristol City. Do believe that they can do it. What was it that come last year? Was it 18th or something like that? I do believe they can do it. That Semeno guy, I probably butchered his name, to be honest with you, but he looked pretty good, you know. I like the look of him. I feel like he could, but he's probably going to be their top goal scorer next season, and I think all of his goals put together will just keep them up from the drop. I think they'll do the double by Blackpool, I'd imagine, and I'd imagine it's going to be between them 2 games to see what team goes down. Right, 20th, I've got Birmingham. Mate, Birmingham supporters, why did they get their hopes up so much? I remember looking on TikTok before the season started last year. All the Birmingham supporters were like, oh, we've got all these players in on loan. I think that, was it Taith Chong or something on loan? Like, oh, we're going to be doing so good, playoffs and everything like that. Yeah, had a good season. I just can't see them doing it this season. 20th, they've probably survived by 9-10 points, which is a comfortable survival. But I think from now, Birmingham are definitely going to struggle, and I think this time next year when I'm making the same predictions video, I think Birmingham are going to be relegated to League One, unfortunately. 19th, I've got Wigan. Well done on promotion. They absolutely destroyed League One. They're just not destroying the championship. And I've seen already some prediction videos before I've released this one. Some people have Wigan getting in the playoffs, if not second. People are saying they're going to automatic promotion to the Premier League. It ain't happening. But I do think they could have a pretty good first season back. I mean, 19th, I wouldn't complain if I'm a Wigan supporter. I wouldn't complain at all. It means you're guaranteed to have another season in the championship. You can have a good crack at it again. Wigan, I think, is a team that they're not going to get relegated for a long time now. They're going to stay in the championship. They're going to have they're just going to keep on going up. The 19th this season, the season after 16th, season after maybe a push for top 10, season after playoff, season after possibly win the championship. So I'm going to say like 4 or 5 years time, and I honestly think we're going to see Wigan back in the Premier League, depending on how they build this team up, because they looked amazing in League One. Okay, Sunderland. Oh my God, can't believe it. I cannot believe I'm having these stay up. In 18th, I've put Sunderland. Why am I keeping them? But I don't even want to describe why I think they're going to stay up. I just think with their fans, everything like that, it's going to get behind the players a lot. There's a lot of players leaving, and apparently they're already thinking of bringing a lot of players into the team in the summer. So I think that will push them over the line. I do think they'll survive. They're just going to survive though. I could see them, if they don't keep this kind of little project going, I could see them going back down to League One the year after. They need to just keep this kind of, how do I say it, because they're getting rid of a ton of players and bringing a ton of players in. They need to keep this up until they find that correct team to get them back to the Premier League. But Sunderland, I think it's going to be a long time until we'll see you back in the Premier League, honestly. Okay, in 17th, Hull. I mean, there's nothing really too much to describe about Hull. I just think they're going to have a pretty average season, well, just below average considering it's 17th. Yet again though, with all the teams above them, I just can't see Hull doing better than these, and that's my reasoning. It's not the best of reasonings, but that's what it's going to be. 16th, Reading. I know, it's disappointing. It's disappointing. Reading didn't have the best of seasons last year. Where did was it like 20th to come or something? I mean, it was something daft like that. I cannot see it. I can't see them going anywhere from now. They've gotten rid of a lot of their youngsters. Mind you, they've still got a lot of cracking youngsters in their team. But I think they made some pretty bad decisions last summer of getting rid of a few youngsters. And I think that's kind of what made their team decline a bit. But they're going to have a better season than they did last. It's just, yet again, it's not going to be too much better, and they're not going to really push for anything. I can see Reading being one of them clubs that will be in League One very, very shortly if they're not careful. In 15th, Millwall. Now, this is weird. This is very weird, because Millwall, they come, was it just outside of playoffs last year? I think it was 7th or 8th they come. It was an incredible season from them, considering I'm pretty sure they were in League One not so long ago. Incredible season from them, mind you, but I just think that was kind of like a one-off season. I don't think Millwall are going to do it. I've seen other people's predictions video of them getting like playoffs, but I think they're going to miss out on playoffs again, and they're going to come 15th. Okay, so in 14th, I've got Cardiff. Now, Cardiff were a Premier League side not so long ago. Literally, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first game was against Cardiff in the Prem. What's happened? What has happened, Cardiff fans? Your team has rapidly declined, and I think it's going to continue with that. Yet again, it's one of them teams like Reading. These top championship clubs are just kind of being dragged down by a lot of these clubs that are coming up and up. Like, you've got Blackburn coming up, Luton, crazy season last year. Middlesbrough having a good go at it. So you've got all them teams that are kind of pushing teams like Cardiff and Reading out the way, and I think that's what's going to happen now. In 13th, I've got Swansea. A lot of people think Swansea are going to be promoted back to the Premier League. I can't see it happening. To be fair, Oberfemi looked pretty solid last year, but I just can't see Swansea doing much more than where I've put them in 13th. It's going to be disappointing, although I can see their reasons of why they'd push for at least playoffs. But do I think they're going to do it over the clubs that I've put above them? No chance, not a chance. I could see them max coming 10th. So I put QPR down in 10th, a little spoiler there, but I put QPR on 10th. I don't think I can see Swansea finishing above QPR, that's why I haven't put them there. But I would, in all honesty, put them there if I didn't put QPR there. I kind of messed that up a bit there. Okay, in 12th I've put Luton. Well, the Luton are gone in at 12th. Yeah, amazing season last year. Playoffs, of course, but I don't think they'll do it again. Simply, I mean, looking at the teams, because I've written them down on a piece of paper, looking at the teams above them, I can't see them doing it again. Not when you've got Watford, Burnley, and now Norwich back in the Championship. Now I can't see them doing it, considering they're back in the Championship. So I can't see them pushing themselves above them clubs, and they're gonna have a big struggle. But still, 12th. I would be happy with that as a Luton supporter. It's not quite playoffs like you did last year, but it's getting there, it's getting there. They're building something. 11th, Stoke. I think I've messed up a lot between, 15th and 10th here, because I'm regretting putting Stoke this high. I do think Luton should go above Stoke, I don't know why I've done that. I could just change that now, but I'm going to stick with my prediction like I did in the Premier League one. There was some I wanted to change there. I have messed this up very slightly. I want to put Luton above them, but yeah, I'm putting Stoke in 11th. I don't know what's happened with Stoke, mind you. In good, solid Premier League side not so long ago, and now they've just declined after they got rid of a lot of them Premier League talents because they got a bit too old, like Shaqiri, Diouf and stuff like that. A lot of them players kind of just left the team. QPR banging 10th. I did just announce that before, so I'll just tie them in 10th. 9th, West Brom. Steve Bruce, that's me reasoning for it. In 8th is Huddersfield, but this is a different. I'm using a tier list that a guy has very kindly made on the tier list maker app. He hasn't put Huddersfield in. I must have forgot about them. Huddersfield would be in 8th though, so just imagine Huddersfield are there. Watford are coming in at 7th. Now this is massive, and you know what? I've got them as massive underachievers. Watford in 7th, missing out in the playoffs. What? Ben Foster's leaving. They're relying on their youth now. I do think their team's going to be incredible, and I think they are going to turn into Premier League. Like, they're going to make big in Europe in 4 or 5 years. I'm speaking when Newcastle are going to start making Europe. Watford though, I'm saying it now. I'm saying it now. Their youth is really good. It's really good, strong. I mean, you've got Pedro up front. Nagakia, is that his name in right back? Something like that. Centre backs could do a bit of a twiddling with. Goalkeeper, the situation, I think they've got that African goalkeeper, I think he's from like Nigeria or something like that, who was out on loan, so he's come back and apparently he's going to be the number 1 over Backman, so that's solid. I do think it's going to be there. They're going to have a shambles of a season. They're going to just miss out on the playoffs because guess who's making the playoffs? Burnley. I've put Burnley making the playoffs. The only reason Watford aren't making the playoffs and coming 6th is because Burnley will come 6th. It's going to be between Burnley and Watford to make the playoffs, like between 6th and 7th. So whoever comes 6th, obviously playoffs, whoever comes 7th misses, which is going to be either Burnley or Watford, and I've put Burnley in the playoffs instead. It could definitely be the other way around. It could be nothing like that, and we could have Preston make the playoffs. But that's what I've predicted right there. So coming in at 5th, I've got Blackburn. Now, there's not a lot of clubs left, so this is pretty much set in stone at this point. You can probably kind of guess right now who I'm going to be having a max promotion and stuff. I mean, I suppose playoff positions don't really matter apart from the team you'd be playing. Isn't it like 3rd against 4th and 5th against 6th, or the other way around or something? So if this is the case, we'd have Blackburn-Burnley, and I think Blackburn would honestly win that. So I think Burnley had stayed down in the Championship regardless of the fact that they've made the playoffs. So coming above Blackburn, I have got Coventry. So yeah, I've got Coventry making the playoffs this year. Coventry fans, I'd be absolutely ecstatic making the playoffs. And I think yous will not go to Wembley. I've got yous playing against Norwich, and yeah, Norwich, they're just going to miss out on all mark promotion, and it's going to be sad to see. But yeah, Norwich are probably favourites to win the Championship, but I can't see it happening with the 2 teams that I've got remaining. I'll tell you what, if there's any Middlesbrough fans watching this, you're going to be excited. So yeah, it'll be Norwich versus Coventry. I've got Norwich going to Wembley, and Blackburn versus Burnley. I've got Blackburn going to Wembley. So Norwich versus Blackburn in the playoff final at Wembley. Unfortunately, Coventry, Burnley are going to miss out. And Coventry, they're going to be so unlucky because they had a really good season last season. This is an even better season this season, but they're still going to miss out on getting the Premier League. It's going to be sad. It's going to be sad. But Burnley and Watford to stay down. I can't believe I've predicted that, honestly. It's a shock. It's a shock. Coming in at 2nd, well, we'll do top. Might as well. There we go. That's how it looks then. Sheffield United to win the Championship. They looked pretty good last season. I think they were unlucky to lose to Nottingham Forest. And I've got Middlesbrough coming in 2nd, just as runners-up. They're just going to miss out on that title. But it doesn't matter, because automatic promotion, Borough fans, how do you feel? I've got yous coming into the Premier League. So it's going to be Sheffield United, Borough and Norwich, who are going to be promoted back to the Premier League. And coming down, who did I have? I had Bournemouth, Southampton and Fulham coming down. So the Premier League and Championship is going to be interesting even the season after this. But how do you guys feel? Feedback in the comments would be amazing. Like I said, I think I should twiddle with like putting Luton above Stoke and stuff like that. But apart from that, I think I've got a pretty spot on. Maybe apart from Watford, Burnley not getting promoted, it sounds weird saying it, but I just don't. One of the little awards, so winning the playoffs, I have Norwich winning the playoffs. So Norwich will be playing Blackburn in the playoff final, and I can see Norwich doing it. So Norwich will be promoted back to the Premier League, but just not winning it or automatic promotion. I think it'll be a bit of a shock to the system for Norwich fans just making the playoffs, but I think it's all get through it, no bother. Player of the season for me, I've got two players written down. I've got Rashid from Norwich and Isaiah Jones of Middlesbrough, because Isaiah Jones, I watched him like 2 or 3 times, definitely against Chelsea in the FA Cup last year, and he was really good. Isaiah Jones looked solid, so I feel like he could do something special. And with Middlesbrough coming second, which is a massive thing for Borough, I could definitely see one of their best players on their team being Isaiah Jones. So I'll put him for player of the season, but also Rashid, and there's a reason for it, which we'll come to a little bit later. Manager of the season, Chris Wilder, simply for getting Middlesbrough for second in automatic promotion. Could be the Sheffield's manager, but I'm just going to go with Chris Wilder. Underachievers, I've went with Watford for not making the playoffs, but I don't know if that's harsh, because 7th is still a pretty good season, but for Watford's case, not really. Underachievers, I'm going with Watford, but I also do kind of want to put Millwall for coming 15th after the solid season they just had. But I'm going to stick with Watford. with that. Overachievers, Middlesbrough. I mean, Middlesbrough are going to be on this list a lot, to be honest with you. Yeah, Middlesbrough coming in with the overachievers, coming second, automatic promotion, back to the Premier League. The start of something special for Middlesbrough. Top goal scorer, Rashid. That's why I said he could be player of the season. I think Rashid is going to come very close. No, I'm not going to say that. I was going to say coming very close to beating Mitro's record, but no, he's not. He's not. But I do think he could get maybe 30. I think Mitro's was like 43, something like that. I think Rashid will get like just above 30, like 31, 32. I think he's going to have an outstanding season for Norwich. Top assister, I've just went with Chris Willock because I didn't know too much about like the assists in the Championship, so I searched up top assisters of last year. Chris Willock was like 5th in top assisters, but it was still like 11 assists or something. So I went with Chris Willock as the top assister. I don't really know if people are going to agree too much on that, but try not to forget, I don't watch too much Championship football. I do watch the games sometimes, like after the Premier League games on a weekend and stuff like that. I sometimes watch that in midweek games. I definitely do watch like the Monday night Championship games. I definitely do watch, so I know a tad bit about it. But yeah, I think the Chris Willock one's a bit dodgy. I'm very sorry for Luton fans because I messed that a little bit up where I should have put Luton like 10th or 9th or something. And I probably should have had Watford made it in the playoffs, but I want to know what you guys say about it, because I have seen a lot of people saying that Burnley and Watford will not have the best of seasons. They'll still make playoffs, but they'll just not get like the automatic promotion that you'd expect. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.